Hello and welcome back. And as you can see, I am once again joined by one of my nearest and dearest, the lovely and talented and incredibly well-educated Miss Lindley. And
true.
It is. It's very true. This is the thing when you do these videos, you have no time to rehearse them, because I was trying to think of other adjectives.
I will take one.
I didn't want to.
I like that.
We just saw Charlie's Angels. I didn't want to go with the beautiful. Let's talk about other aspects. Let's be modern.
SNL just did a skit about that, where actually with Kristen Stewart, who was in this movie, where they're like, how to talk to. It was this whole like app, like Duolingo, like how to talk to kids, and she was in it. Kristen Stewart. Kristen Stewart was in it. They're like, you can't call girls pretty anymore. So what do you say to them?
You are so hideous. All right, so I wanted to bring you along. I'm going to explain this and why I wanted to have you do this. Apart from the fact that I love when you do these with me, because Charlie's Angels is problematic.
In just
general, because the original show has like this dual reputation of, and neither reputation is undeserved. The one hand, people say it's very exploitive. It's it's sexist. It's pre Baywatch. And I can say, having seen most of the original show, I like the original show. I'm just going to say that.
I honestly don't think I've ever seen the original show.
I like it in the way you like bad TV. It's not a masterpiece, but it's a fun, goofy show. But I will admit, especially the first season, Farrah Fawcett was on it. It's like any chance they could get her in an outfit that showed her nipples poking out, they would do it. And it's like, okay. But the other hand says, well, that may be true, but they are efficient. They're self-reliant. They're not damsels in distress. They're figuring out. Bosley is their sidekick. They're not his. Mm-hmm. So there's that debate. And then, did you ever see any of the 2000 movies?
Yeah.
What did you think of those?
There's two of them, right?
Yeah.
I definitely saw the first one.
Okay.
I don't know if I saw the second, but I saw the first one, and I remember as a kid thinking, like, do they have to be dumb? Like, they were playing dumb. And I was like,
yeah.
Even as maybe 13 or something when it came out, I remember thinking that.
I rented it back in the day when you could rent movies in boxes. Kids. I rented it because I am not a Drew Barrymore fan by any stretch of the imagination. And I rented it and watched it. And let me tell you, without getting too blue, I'm a 40-year-old single guy. Mm-hmm. I am not a stranger to the idea of mature viewing entertainment. Uh-huh. I have never felt as dirty as I felt watching that Charlie's Angels movie.
Really? I don't remember anything like that.
They just steered right into the sex skid. It was just like I remember them like dancing in underwear. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay, calm down.
Well, but see, so part of it also is like the taking back of female sexuality, right? Because so I'm gonna go on a limb.
Go.
This just came to my mind. Like the first ones, all of them are trying to push the boundaries at the time of what female sexuality and kick-assedness was supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe each of them are a perfect example of what was expected of you as a female, but also pushing the line a little bit. And especially in the 90s, as a 90s girl growing up in the 90s and 80s, like the idea was to be, like if you think about all the entertainment with women back then, empowered women, right? It was all ultra heightened sexy. Not that that's not a thing.
It was either ultra heightened sexy or
total opposite.
Or like, total bitch.
Or just complete nerd.
Yeah, when they wrote
no
women...
No sexuality. And so they didn't know how to do it. There was no middle, right? It was either all sexuality or no sexuality. And I think what I liked about this one, I mean, I thought it was really fun. I told you with this, I had no expectations of this movie other than I like Elizabeth Banks.
Yeah.
I liked Pitch Perfect. I think they're super fluffy and fun. And just easy fun to watch. And so I was like, I like Elizabeth Banks. Like, I'll go see Charlie's Angels. But I really liked this. It still had that same upbeat fun and still had the funniness of, like, with her style of humor. But I think this one also did a good job of not being heightenedly sexy But still being empowered women that know their sexuality.
Yeah,
but they didn't have to overplay it.
The very first scene, they're undercover, so of course they're playing it a little bit larger. I was worried they were going to head in that ultra.
But the whole time she was talking about how, so it was like a date scene. Like the first scene is her on a date with this guy, and the guy's like, oh, women are this and that, women blah blah blah, and she's refuting him the whole time about what women are, and that set the tone. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So you're coming at it from you really liked this one.
I thought it was really fun. Of course, there were some things I think that didn't work or weren't perfect, but I mean, it's not high cinema. I thought it was really fun. I thought it was very fun, and I thought in terms of female empowerment, it did a good job showing that there's not one way to be a woman, and that you don't have to define yourself by your sexuality or this and that. Like you don't have to, how do I put it? You don't have to pigeonhole yourself.
There you go.
You know what I mean? There's a broad spectrum of femininity.
See, this is why I'm glad I brought you to this one, because of course, coming at it from the straight white male perspective, I didn't pick up on a lot of that. I was looking at it more just film structure and whatnot. So, I do think it was way better than the 2000 ones, like by a wide margin. But I had fun with it, but I felt it was a little flat.
How so?
I felt the characters, the three characters are three main angels: Bella Swan, the Pink Ranger, and the other one.
Is that who she was?
Naomi Scott was the Pink Ranger when they did the reboot movie a few years ago. She was also Princess Jasmine in the Aladdin one we saw.
Oh, wait, I thought Naomi Scott was the tall one.
No, Naomi Scott was the nerd one, the one they recruited.
The scientist one.
Yeah.
So who was the tall one?
I don't know her. That's the other one.
Okay.
That's like
She was awesome.
I say Bella Swan, the Pink Ranger, and the other one. I don't know.
I do think this is I have not seen the vampire movies.
Twilight movies.
I've not seen those.
You've saved yourself some pain there.
But I have seen clips of them because it'll show up, so you see a clip of her in it. She was, I think, the most fun of the movie, and the only time I've enjoyed seeing her in anything.
Yeah, I think that's.
This was a good movie for her.
It was, yeah. I just felt like I felt like watching it a lot of times. I was watching an Avengers movie without having seen any of the previous one-off movies. Like, they kept talking about backstory and things that hadn't happened, or betrayals and friendships we're supposed to know about, and you're just like, who are you? What's going on? When they're having their sisterhood moment there, when Kristen Stewart's injured and the other one is crying over her. You taught me that I don't have to do everything on my own. I was like, wait, that was a plot? That was a character arc we were supposed to be following?
That was out of nowhere.
So I was like, I feel like they had good characters, but I don't feel like they were flushed out enough.
It was either don't flush them out at all, and don't throw us those things that didn't go anywhere, like that you taught me I didn't have to do anything by myself, or put it in.
Yeah.
You can't just have
I think this one, so the main plot is, I don't care about spoilers for this one. I think if you've seen any comedy action movie, you know the plot here. It's not hard. So Patrick Stewart was a Bosley.
He was great.
It's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love it when Patrick Stewart does these kind of comedies, because he's that actor that everyone goes, oh, he'd never do that. He loved Beavis and Butthead. He has a recurring role on American Dad. He loves this type of stuff.
Right.
But he's like a Bosley who goes rogue, and
frames Elizabeth Banks.
They try to make you think it's Elizabeth Banks, and like the minute they had the retirement party for him, and this is like the first 10 minutes of the film, I'm like, he's the bad guy.
Yes.
And I don't mind that it's predictable. I don't mind that.
No.
But what I minded is that they spent so much time with this bait and switch of is it her, is it him, that the development of these new characters that I assume they're hoping is going to launch a franchise. Because these days you don't do a movie like this unless you're hoping they're gonna net you 5-6 new movies. And then with the way they've established the new Charlie's Angels, then you can, when these ones retire, you bring in the new ones, and it's just I think they should have saved that plot if they ever do a sequel for a second one, and kept this one a little simpler. Saying a simpler plot for a movie like this is kind of weird because again these aren't like heavily.
It's not Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy.
Yeah, exactly. They're not. They're not really trying to go for the people. But I think keep the betrayal. Who can you trust? Who is this? Who is that? For a second one.
Or do that, but don't have it be the double.
Yeah.
Just have it be the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I still think it was super fun. It was fun to watch.
Oh,
I
yeah.
laughed. It was funny. It was.
I also kind of think.
I thought it was fun.
I also kind of think, just going back, and I'd like to know your opinion on this. So they're doing the back and forth debate switch of who's the bad guy. Going back to a comment you said a second ago about showing how there's different facets to women and this movie explored them. I think they should have kept Elizabeth Banks as the bad guy.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping they would.
Because that would have been something I wasn't expecting.
That was the one thing that I thought I wasn't sure how I wasn't sure what I think of it. Like one of the very first scenes, the boss guy who's like a semi-bad guy is kind of like mansplaining and like shooing her under the rug and then like being like touching her and like belittling her and stuff. And one that's happened to me, it's totally gross, icky, and it's true. It happens to me all the time. But my thought was, do we have to make this is a larger issue? Do we have to make men be yucky for women to be
powerful,
or to have sympathy for? And
exactly.
I think the Patrick Stewart character did good with that because he was a bad guy.
Yeah.
There wasn't a creepiness to it.
Yeah, he was just the bad guy. He played it like he plays, if he was playing a Shakespearean bad guy. It wasn't a creepy thing, he was just bad.
But that being said, those creepy men exist and things like that happen all the fucking time. So should you take it out? I don't know. I think they were trying to set the table, right, and of who this guy was, which fit his character. But just in general as the movie, it was very men versus women.
Yeah.
And
I felt that.
And I think there's good for that because it is true and it speaks to what's happening in our culture right now. And it does empower being a woman. It empowers me to watch that. And if we're trying to balance the scales a little bit, we've had 100 years of movies where men are being empowered, so now it's our turn. And I do feel that we have to have movies like this for women just to boost us back up so we can be on an even playing field. But I think there is that element of hit over the head a little bit.
Yeah, because coming from my perspective, I'm going to try to say this, I don't want to sound bad about this, but I think showing that there are men who are, I guess let's use the term woke, just, I don't like the word.
Feminist.
Yeah, who aren't, the only two positive males in this film were the geek, the cute nerd that the other girl is flirting with.
Yep.
And the slightly fey, androgynous,
spirit.
saint. Their valet kind of guy, which nothing wrong with that, but it does quote unquote send the message that
it characterized males in the same way that women have been characterized.
The only men who are not going to objectify you are these kind.
Well, and this is my point, is that women characters for hundreds of years have been characterized the same way the male characters in this movie were characterized.
And this is true.
And
this
so
is an
my
excellent
point is that to just flop it has a purpose, because like I said, we are trying to balance the scale. Does that make it right? No, because it wasn't right when it was done with women either. But like I said, it has its place just to bring the feel. And
I think back to the original Charlie's Angels, and the Bosley character there was like kind of the goofy uncle or the loving father who was there to kind of help them out. He was their sidekick,
right?
But he was not, he wasn't a scumbag. He wasn't a, So I don't know. I also just think it would have been more interesting to see Elizabeth Banks play a bad guy.
Yeah. I was hoping for that too. I was like, and I wanted to see them fight.
Yeah, but I do like the new characters they introduced. I will agree. I think this is one of Kristen Stewart's
She was
better
super
performance.
enjoyable to watch, and I don't think I've ever seen her in anything where I've enjoyed watching her.
I feel very sorry for her in that it's gotta suck to have your whole career defined by something you did very young.
And was bad.
And was bad just on multiple levels. I feel very sorry. I feel the same way for Robert Pattinson. People bitch about him being Batman.
What?
Yeah, people bitch about him being Batman.
He's Batman?
He's going to be the new Batman. I was actually waiting for him to drop that little joke in there when they were doing the whole debate.
That was funny though. I laughed at that.
I was waiting for them to kind of make that joke and have her react to it, but you know.
But in terms of male-female relationships and like caricatures, it's another one I can't say. Caricature.
I can't say caterpillar.
You just said it. But so I saw this clip of Kristen Bell talking about Frozen 2, and she was saying like Kristoff in the new Frozen 2 movie has a couple of like great things, because the first Frozen movie talked about like familial love and self-love, right? And broke the mold of always being about romantic love. And how in this movie, like Kristoff is learning how to express his love, and they're like they're in a fight scene or something, and like Kristoff scoops in to like say rescue Anna, and instead of going after a rescuer like whisking Rob, he says, "I'm here, what do you need?" And it's that kind of balance and real portrayal of male-female relationships that I think provide a realistic and the way it should be going for men and women in real life and in entertainment, right? And so if this movie had more of that sort of like, I'm here, what do you need? Like, I'm here on an evil plane with you as a man, not as a caricature or as an evil bad guy, right? Then it wouldn't have been as goofy.
Yeah.
Because it did feel goofy. The men felt goofy, minus Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
And like I said, that has a point. I think that was purposeful, but and I think it worked in the movie. But just overall, in general, I think in entertainment that is supposed to empower women and make them be empowered and feel empowered, then let's not have to just put people down about it.
Don't make the same mistakes we did.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know, be the better people, basically.
Well, then why is that burden on us?
Good point.
But, and that's why I said it's all multi-layered. So I enjoyed it, but I do think that, it was super fun.
I also really dug Naomi Scott in this. She is one of those actors that's just threatening to break out. She needs some film that is an unquestioned hit. Yeah. For her.
She was good.
Because, the three things I've seen her in, she's played three completely different characters.
Wait, Jasmine? Oh, and the Pink Ranger.
And the Pink Ranger, Kimberly, I should just call her actual name. And this. And she's very good in everything she does, even if the film isn't great. You know, and I think she's one of these actors that's going to bust out, and it just needs the right... I don't know what that movie is, but it's out there.
I did like how they did bring the female part of it into the way I especially like that they brought the empowerment into it was at the beginning with all the different women and kids and girls around the world, and then at the end they had different women training them. They had Laverne Cox and Rhonda Rousey, and then the driver, what's her name?
Danica Patrick, is that it? Yeah.
And I was like, that was my favorite part of the whole movie, of the empowerment part of the whole movie, is that they did bring women of all shapes.
That was cool. I liked
that the best.
Yeah, I liked
the inclusiveness of it.
Yeah, that end scene where they're all standing around, because of course they call in the
and the men drop.
Yeah, it was.
And then it's just
the different shapes and sizes. It was very nice. And yeah, I did like that bit at the end during the credits of the different women. Mm-hmm. And Ronda Rousey sadly is the only one I recognized right away. The others I had to think about for a second.
I knew Laverne Cox right away. She was the one I knew right away. Danica Patrick, I knew who she was. I had to
think of the name. And yay for for a cameo from Jacqueline Smith, Kelly Garrett from the original. She was my favorite of the originals. I'm going to say that. So I was very happy to see her.
But I think it's fun. Definitely rent it. Definitely it was fun.
All right. So before we get to the final grades, we have it, and she's been thinking about it. So where does this movie fall?
I'm going to say 3.
A 3.
3 because, like I said, I think we're making the same mistakes as men have for years.
Yeah. All right.
And that angered me by a 3.
So that is a 3 on the feminist rage-o-meter for this film. That's pretty good.
It's low. It's
low.
That's
pretty good. Because I remember the first time we talked about it, I said you're always at a 5. So.
Oh, just in life. That's right. In life, I'm at a 5 or a 6. Constant state of 5. Women, you know why we're at a constant median. But this movie, like I said, it played up the female empowerment. So the movie is not rated.
Movie out of 3. There you go.
Lower.
All right.
A lower.
All right. So now, wrapping it up. There you go. Stress it. Get it up.
Exactly.
Final grade for you for Charlie's Angels 2019.
C+.
You know what? That's right where I was at. I'm at a C+ for that.
Mm-hmm.
I hope. I'm concerned for it. I'm concerned for it because it's one of those films that feels like it's been getting bad press almost from the minute the first trailer.
The trailers were very bad, I have to say. Those are terrible trailers.
So people have been complaining about it since that. We were in a big theater. Now, we were there early for an early showing.
4 of us.
But 4 people in a huge theater.
The creepiest thing was, you always like to sit in the very last row, and then these women just followed us up.
Yeah, they had to sit, right, literally.
2 seats down.
The whole theater, you got to sit right next to us. But it's one of those films, kind of like, I said this when I reviewed the all-female Ghostbusters film a few years back. I didn't like it much either, but it's a film that I was kind of hoping, I kind of hope this one gets enough in it that they can do a sequel.
And fix it.
And maybe flush some of these characters out, because I think there's stuff there to work with.
Yeah.
There's really good stuff there to work with. I think this was a little bit more growing pains on this one. It shows Elizabeth Banks is not just a good comedy director, she's a pretty good action director.
Yes.
A lot of the action scenes were
really good.
Really well done.
And not overly done. And really did look like them fighting it. Sometimes it's no way.
The stunt doubles are very obvious in this one.
And it's too fast.
Yeah.
But these were more realistic. I thought, which I liked.
I don't want to tell anybody their business, but I think they should tap her for a Marvel movie.
She would be so good. Having just watched Captain Marvel last night,
I think
she could have done that.
I think they ought to tap her for that. But not a bad one. So always happy to have Miss Lindley here with us. Always a treat. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanksgiving week is coming up. A lot of new stuff coming out. I'm really excited. Some movies I've been looking forward to for a long time. So 21 Bridges. I'm interested in Frozen 2. The Mr. Rogers biopic.
Oh, yeah, I want to see that.
And there's another one I can't remember, but a lot of stuff coming out that I am looking forward to seeing. So it's going to be a fun time. It's going to be a long week. Got a show opening. So I'm going to need to
break a leg.
Thank you. I will if they don't get off their asses.
They will get it together. They will do it. They will persevere.
They will. I trust them. But a lot of stuff coming up as we edge towards the end of the year. So as always, thank you so much. We hope to have you back soon. And as always, drive safe, and we'll see you at the movies. And I go, ah!